If I were to ask you what the relationship is between hope and fear, how would you respond? Probably a lot like me or like most people. Your initial reaction would be that they're opposites, right? And to a certain extent, that is obviously true. They're emotions, one positive, one negative, and so they're two vastly different viewpoints. However, they are connected in a way that makes them not perfect opposites. And that is that they have something in common. They are reactions. Both fear and hope revolve around one thing, which is the unknown. And think back to a Christmas or a birthday. Most of us have done this at some point, either intentionally or accidentally. You found out what you were getting before you opened the present. I remember very early in my marriage, so it was early 2000s, and we didn't have cell phones and all that wonderful stuff. Online banking was kind of a thing, but not a huge thing for most people. And I remember, for some odd reason, which I never did, I opened my bank statement and actually read through it. Odd thing to do. No reason, just I guess I was bored. And I ran across like a $400 charge. And I thought that was odd. And I looked at it, and it was from Gateway or from Dell or something. So I knew I was getting a computer, and there was, obviously, it was like a anniversary, or it was a birthday, or something was coming up that I made. I was able to connect the dots. And most of us have done that, or, certainly in the age of cell phones where everybody gets notifications and things, you check, you see a big charge or whatever. You know what you're getting. You can figure that out. Amazon surprises you with the notification, and your wife gets the message or whatever. And so my wife and I have been surprised, actually, not that often, by our presence. Now think of the other end of the spectrum. Maybe a time when you were watching a movie, a suspenseful movie, for the second time. You had a friend that you're like, oh, this is a great movie. I want to watch this with them. But you've already been surprised by the plot twists and the ending, and you've kind of got to, in both situations, you find yourself in a similar circumstance where, knowing how it turns out, positive or negative, though they're opposites, you kind of have the same reaction. You have to feign surprise for the benefit of the person who you're with, either the one giving the gift or the one watching the movie. So you kind of have to act with shock at this part of the movie when you know what's coming next, or because you don't want to ruin the experience for the person. You don't want to ruin the experience for the person that is watching you open up this thing that they really invested time or thought into. And so it's more than just emotions that we find. These are actually attitudes. They're similar in a way. Now, we could say it like this, that the general disposition of a person it shows how they will react to most things. Fear or hope are like these things. An unknown, right, in a person, it makes a response depending on the type of person you are. So if you are a hopeful person, you will react with hope to an unknown situation. In a person who is fearful, you will react with fear in an unknown situation. Their attitudes. In the scriptures, we see a lot of events, and you see different groups in this event where two different groups of people will react differently they've watched the same thing, much like us watching the suspenseful movie, and some people react one way to it, and another person reacts another way, and some people react with fear, and some people react with hope. Beginning March 21st, and running through Easter, a little bit beyond, we're going to be going through a sermon series devoted to this concept. It's a series called Dead Men Tell Tales, and we're going to be looking at wide-ranging reactions to a few events that happen throughout the Bible, and questioning what my response would be given these circumstances, and what should my response be. In looking at the different examples of people who reacted positively or negative based on their disposition, based on their basic attitude. So we hope you will be able to join us, preferably in person. But if you can't, certainly we are available to join these sermons online at waukeshachurch.org. And you can check that out, and also look at our Facebook page, the Waukesha Church of Christ Facebook page. All right, see you then.